Okay, welcome everyone. Kevin LaRocca here with Binary Pro Strategies. Today is December 28th of 2018. We really only have a couple more days of trading. These binaries are going to be Sunday night and Monday. But as typical for Fridays, Fridays can be very difficult. And as you can see, it was for me today. Now, before I get into the tip of the day, talking about how to limit losses, I want to talk about a couple things here. As you can see here, I did start off with doing pretty much just single contracts here. And on the pound, you saw I focused a lot on the pound, the euro, and the Canadian dollar. I did a few here as well in the Japanese yen. But basically what I was trying to do is when the Fridays come around, they're typically very choppy in the morning. Very seldom do I have really good strong core trades. So what I'll do is I'll try to put on a few core trades. And if that doesn't work, what I'll do is we'll usually back off a little bit. And so that's kind of where the tip of the day comes in, because when it comes to limiting losses, you'll notice that most all my days I'm starting off with single contracts. That's because I'm putting those on to test the water. Now, if you don't have the account size that I do, you can certainly maybe paper trade. But the reason I don't paper trade is because many times I would be watching. You have to really watch that indicative, and sometimes you think you would have gotten in and you really don't. Sometimes you think you didn't get in, you really did. And so really the true way to really know whether the market is going to be producing is to put a contract on. And that's what I do. Obviously you can't put less than a single contract, so that's exactly what I do. And it just wasn't hitting. So first tip is, how do I limit losses? Number one, always start the day with single contracts. Okay? And what I'll do is I'll continue to trade that unless I see something in size. Now, if I see a really good setup, I will put some size on it. I really didn't. The only thing I saw here was this pound. I put 2 contracts on. That's still not what I consider size. Typically, most of my size is going to come when I see a really strong nibble. Looking at the nibble strategy, see a really strong crystal ball setup. I didn't really see that all day, and so you'll see I did no size. I stayed with ones. So the first thing, I stay with size. The second thing I do is, I stay with singles before I put on size. The second thing that I will do is I will back off. So as you see, I'm just not hitting. I'm putting singles on. I'm just not hitting anything. And you see there was like a 3-hour period over here where I did no trading. That's what I do. I back off, and then I hit it again. And if I'm still not hitting, then what I'll do is I'll come back at night. Now on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern time, Nadex shuts down, doesn't open until Sunday night. So typically, if this was any other day besides Friday, I would come in on the evenings and trade, because typically when I have a choppy day during the day, that means I'm really going to have a really good night in the evenings. Okay, and that's where the crystal ball and the nibble strategy kicks in. But I didn't have that opportunity to do that, so I went ahead and took that loss at 467.25. It's really not a lot of money considering the size that I trade and considering the week. I still had an awesome week. But if you do have a small account, I suggest always staying with ones. If that's not hitting, back off, come back, give yourself some time, give the market some time to breathe a little bit. Could be 30 minutes, it could be, in this case 3 hours. If that's not hitting, walk away. And if you have the time to come back in the evenings, do so. Come back and hit it again, because if it's not hitting during the day, it's going to be hitting at night. And typically, if you look at my results for days and nights, I don't recall ever having a day when I was losing during the day and also at night. I'm usually going to hit at night if I've had some losses during the day. So that's it with the binaries. Oh, and the third thing I wanted to mention is I stuck with the sales. Okay, so you've got those 3 components: single contracts, giving it time, staying with one side of the market, and that's going to limit your losses quite a bit. What you don't want to do is give up all the profits you made during the week. You are going to have losing days. Hey, you're going to have losing trades. That is part of the business. Everybody has losing trades. Everybody has even losing weeks. That's just going to happen. Personally, I haven't had a losing week. I can't think I've ever had a losing week in a long time. If I ever did, must have been years ago. Only because the Nadex is a little bit different. It gives me so many opportunities to make up for my losses. And like I said, if I can't do it during the day, I can come back at night and do it. So Anyway, that's it for today. I'll have another tip on Monday. I will be doing a little bit of trading Sunday night with my with the rest of our subscribers, and then I'll be back on Monday, which will be the last day of the year, last day of this month, and would expect Monday to be a pretty good day. Last Monday was, so I expect this Monday to be good as well. So anyway, that's it, and I will talk to you next week.